Here we go. Lagunitas in the Pale Ale IPA. Company founded in 1993, so the beer can't be too old. I mean, 28 years ago. For all of none of their beers are older than 28 years. 51.5%, 51.5 IBUs, 7.2% alcohol. Here we are on the alternate channel, anti-war, with Memorial Day coming up. Memorial Day, people say, I know what that's about. It's about hot dogs and potato chips and chili and potato salad, also, and live music and bands, and a day off on Monday, and lots of beer, wine, and liquor. That's Memorial Day. Okay. Golden. Not a very thick head in this wine glass. Clear as a bell like the IPAs used to be. Now they're just murky objects, murky liquids. Smells rich, malty, hop resin. The taste, very bitter, 51.5 IBUs. It lives up to its billing. Strong, robust, 6.2% alcohol. Bread, white bread crust. Sweetness, sweet white bread like bunny bread. Oily hop resin, pine needles. Classic American West Coast style IPA. Lagunitas IPA. Mostly dry finish. On the Cyclops scale, 4 out of 5 sugar cubes. This is one sweet item, but it's 4 out of 5 hop cones. It's one bitter item. You got your sweet and you got your bitter. Put them together, you get a great IPA like Lagunitas IPA. And the dog is saying, doggone good. You can get this in a 19.2 ounce stove, pipe cans, bottles like this, cans, I do believe. Check. I was looking at the website just a moment ago. Excuse me. It's getting hot outside, about 90 degrees out there. Summer's on. Once when you put the AC on, you got to keep it running until at least 4 months. My electric bill was getting low, but it won't get too high because it's a pretty high efficiency unit. What was I trying to look up with this? Oh yeah, what you can get it in. Little something. They even have I'll call it Maximus Colossal IPA. That's the one I'm looking for. That's the one I want. Where is it? Limited release. Stereohopic number 1, number 2 sucks. Hazy. One hitters. The Waldos. Better bring it back. Willatize. Great one. Where's Hop Stupid? They don't make that anymore. That's stupid. Yes, such a nice product. I'm trying to drip. Now, they claim it's made with 43 different hops and 65 various malts. That sounds like some kind of joke, but they like to clown around. Yep, bottles and 12-ounce bottles and cans, 22-ounce bomber bottles, which you never see anymore, on tap, and those 19.2-ounce stovepipe cans. Man. Really? No hop stupid? Can't believe it. Well, Memorial Day. It's to honor soldiers who died in war. Men or women, soldiers and sailors. Mainly it was started to honor U.S. soldiers who were killed in the invasion of the South in 1861 to 1865. You know, then it turned into this generalized holiday, Memorial Day. It is a holiday to honor all service people killed in these wars. All of which, in my opinion, were avoidable and unnecessary and ridiculous. You don't win a lot. You don't make a lot of friends being anti-war, I've noticed. Over the years, some beer review people wanted to just be chummy, you know, let's hang out and do beer review hangouts and blah, 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 and all that, which I don't do a lot of hangout videos with people because it takes a lot of time. But if you get into the anti-war stuff, then they say, oh, they disappear, you know. They're not as open-minded as they may believe, if they may first believe. I guess they're open-minded to their own ideas, you know what I mean? But not to alternate thinking. But I try to encourage alternate thinking out the box, as they say. Can't figure out those hieroglyphics for that date. Oh, here's the date. I knew I'd find it. Well, I found something. I don't know what it means. I'm not going to worry about it. It tastes fine. In fact, it tastes really good. So Memorial Day, all right, yeah, I feel bad for soldiers killed in war and sailors killed in war of any country. You know, I feel bad for people getting killed in wars. I mean, after all, the channel's anti-war, isn't it called that? Maybe we should make another holiday called Civilian Memorial Day, where we honor all the civilians killed in war unnecessarily, whether they were, you know, blown up with artillery hitting their houses or atom bombs dropped on their nursing homes or whatever, you know. But be an interesting concept, Civilian Memorial Day. But I don't put too much on Facebook about that because people don't want to hear that. They want it to just be rah-rah stuff. So I really don't post anything. I just more or less don't deal with the topic. But my silence maybe is telling. Maybe it's what I don't say. So, you know, this is a great beer to have if you're pro-war or anti-war, I guess. So you say, would pro-war people like this beer? Well, I guess if they like malty, sweet, fairly high alcohol, and fairly highly bitter, classic 1990s style IPAs, they certainly might, whether they're pro-war or anti-war. Do anti-war people like this beer? Well, I like it. I love it. I'm having a good time with it. Has some savoriness to it in a way, like a chewy and juicy and delicious, which was the impression I got with when I first had Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. I was like, oh, it's so like full of flavor. I don't know. It seemed like it is not anymore, but it could be that I got used to it, or maybe they changed it. I doubt they changed it. But this one's just always a winner. Is it really popular? I guess it's pretty popular. A lot of the real big time, deep speculative, 32nd degree craft beer reviewers and drinkers won't touch it because, oh, it's owned by Heineken and all of that stuff. But even though Lagunitas pretty much runs the show in their own in-house show, at least that's the impression I have. I could be wrong. Seems that way. Heineken owns a lot of independent brewery operations, let's call it independent brewery operations. Lagunitas, they own Brewed, they own Cerveceria Moctezuma down in Mexico. They own all kind of breweries around the world, in South America, Europe, Asia. Tiger Brewery in Singapore. They run the Prestige Brewery in Haiti. They run the a lot of stuff, just like Carlsberg. Does that mean they go in there and interfere with it and make all the products bad? I don't know. Would that be a good business model? Ronnie S., a fellow anti-war activist. Well, I don't know if we're activists. We say stuff that aggravates people. You say, well, that's an activist. You aggravate people. Well, we don't say things we're not doing it to aggravate people. We're trying to educate people, but they get aggravated because they don't want to be educated, or they don't want to, well, like I said, think differently. Think alternate, have alternate thinking. They only want to think, this is the way I was taught on Schoolhouse Rock on Saturday morning or at school, and it's the only way to think. Lagunitas is pretty good, I think. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I was talking about anti-war stuff, and I was saying Memorial Day weekend. You can go watch what I said already. I posted a song in Rock Till You Bach called "Show Yourself," where I said that was sort of a Memorial Day type song in a sense. And some people would listen to that song and say, that woman hates America. But that isn't the theme of the song. The song is, I was raised a certain way, and I was like a proud, saying the pledge in elementary school and all. It's just that I don't think people getting killed in wars all the time is like related to being free. That was what the song is about. And I don't know what all this secretive stuff is going on. You're claiming, well, the song said you're lying about it. People are dying and you're lying about it. All right, anyway, that's an interesting song from 43 years ago. Another interesting fact about that band is they had the opportunity to not write it, they didn't write it, sing the themes, perform this theme song to Top Gun, the big naval air power movie with Tom Cruise from 1987, I think. I've never seen it. Looked boring to me. I didn't watch it. I think Eddie Rabbitt got to sing it, right? Well, whoever got to sing it, yeah, and it became a #1 hit, Danger Zone. So Jefferson Starship got the offer, or Starship at the time, because of some legal problems. But they said you could perform Top Gun and make a bundle of money. Grace Slick read the synopsis of the movie, and she was saying to the band, no, we're not performing this song. It glorifies war. It's like a militarized song. It's a militarism song. I don't want to be part of that. And the band was saying, yeah, but it's like a major money maker. They're telling us, no, forget it. Screw that, And so they didn't do it. And the lead male singer said, that's just the way she was, So we didn't push the issue. So we let the other guy, make all the money with it. So I guess that's good. You don't want to be part of that war scene. I'm about halfway through your video on the Federalist Papers. Oh, yeah, that was a great video. Now, people say, you're bragging on yourself. No, it's not a great video because of me. It's a great video because of the idea in the video that I did not conceive. The idea was conceived by Alexander Hamilton. He made a very good point. Some people got so angry about that video, and I was saying, I don't think you're getting the point of the video, because you're not getting the point of what Alexander Hamilton said. All he said was that the Bill of Rights was a bad concept because the Bill of Rights forbids the U.S. government from doing these 10 things. He said, but they don't have the power to do those 10 things to start with. So you're implying that they somehow have the power. It's a dangerous thing. He said, what you're going to do is you're going to institute the Bill of Rights, and it's going to work backwards. You're going to take away the people's rights by implying that the U.S. government somehow does have the right to forbid people from having guns, the right to bear arms, when it's not a delegated power. If you look through the whole Federalist Papers, I've read every article. I bet you, how many Americans do you think read the Federalist Papers? Well, hey, how many Americans do you think have read the Constitution? I bet it's not too many, but it's not even long. But oh man, the whole theme of the Federalist Papers is that the U.S. government can only do what was very clearly delegated to them. All the other powers are reserved to the states and the people. But then Thomas Jefferson and them were saying, no, we don't want this new government. It's going to be too tyrannical. It's going to be like an empire, and it'll be like the British government. We should have just stayed British, and all of this. And Alexander Hamilton said, no, it's limited. It's very limited. And but they insisted, we must have a Bill of Rights. We must have a Bill of Rights. The first 10 amendments to the Constitution. That was how it got passed, because they made a deal. We'll make a deal. Let's make a deal. But Alexander Hamilton warned them. He said, you're making a bad deal. You're making like a pact with the devil. You don't even realize it, because you're saying basically, you can go ahead and read Federalist, number 43? He said, what you're saying is, we demand to put in the Constitution that the U.S. government is not allowed to do what it is not allowed to do. Think about that. The U.S. government is not allowed to do what they are not allowed to do, which they were, they're not allowed to do what they were never given power to do. Let me say it like that. The U.S. government is not allowed to do these things that they were not given power to do. Hamilton saying that's a double negative. And what is a double negative? It's a positive. It's a positive. He said, you're going to be sorry. He said it in the document. It's dangerous. He said that. He said a Bill of Rights is dangerous. Dangerous to who? To whom? To you, the people. Was he wrong? I don't think so. But nobody wants to. Aaron rescinded a message. Then he says, ironically, America did become an empire. Right. It's not really ironic. The anti-federalists were right. They were right, but they were wrong in their application of how to deal with the problem. And Hamilton was like pretty much wanting to create an American empire. I don't think he really cared about like the right to bear arms, freedom of speech and all that. I mean, he didn't care. I mean, if people wanted to say what they wanted, he didn't care. And he showed no indication that he wanted to set up to like internal socialist communist government or anything like that. He just didn't right to bear arms. Let him have guns. I don't care. That really wasn't his interest area. If you look at Hamilton, he wanted the states to be unified. He wanted like infrastructure, highways as they developed, shipping channels, and well, whatever technology would bring. he wanted big cities and industrialization and all of this. And so he wanted big beer companies, you know, making great ales like this. You know what I'm saying? And so he basically wanted to mimic what he was raised in. What was he raised in? He was raised in the British Empire, the world's most powerful empire. And he just wanted the U.S. to continue that. Like George W. Bush might have said, a force for peace, you know. So he wanted a centralized bank, central bank, right? Control the monetary system. Whereas the Anti-Federalists wanted a more agrarian, loose confederation of states who would, to a great extent, would have internal self-government and not go and fight wars overseas. So, you know, the Anti-Federalists wanted a tiny navy, a small volunteer army, and no involvement with foreign conflicts and no alliances. Remember, George Washington, wasn't he the one that warned, don't get involved with foreign alliances, because you'll fight wars that can't help you and don't benefit you. So he was a very interesting character, and he was murdered. Now, so that's my impression of Memorial Day. So don't look for me to be running around like Yahoo and Yuha and America and all that. I'm not into all that. Now, I think Aaron Chan misinterprets pretty much everything that I say, because he's got this impression I have this support of the American empire and all these foreign wars. I do not. I can go through every foreign war from 1775 to right now, and I can show you where every one of them was wrong. You may not like Henry Clay with the American Plan had similar ideas. Yeah, he was from Kentucky, so Southerner, upper South at least. And I have a campaign ribbon from him. It's so brittle. I touched it once and a corner of it pulverized. I was like, oh Lord. You think I like drinking beer and liquor? Oh no, he loved drinking it. Apparently he had a great love for the knocking back the juice. That was one reason he ran for president 4 times and never won. He had a reputation of running after women and drinking a lot. You say, you mean he was like Bill Clinton? Well, yeah, kind of like that. Somebody in my family saved this thing from the last 180 years. My grandpa gave it to me, but it was kind of ruined already. But it says, his country's friend in the hour of danger. Danger meaning the war between the states. He was trying to prevent that. Henry Clay, pride of America, the champion of her liberties, the poor man's friend, and whatever else it says. It got torn up. This is an old campaign ribbon. I got it under glass, wrapped in plastic, so it doesn't get totally destroyed. This is probably from around 1840. See, the bottom of the ribbon's already destroyed. It's silk. It's a silk ribbon. Well, you know, that thing's going to turn to powder. It is basically, if I took it out, it would just dissolve. So Lagunitas IPA is an A. It's a winner. It's a great beer. 95 out of 100 at least. Memorial Day is a nice holiday, and anti-war is good and pro-war is bad, in my opinion. Anti-war good, pro-war bad. Let's get that in your head. You say you're not going to win a lot of friends. Okay. James calls them flag-waving right-wingers. He thinks everyone on the right is a neoconservative. See, James, oh, I'm glad you're doing this. I was about to put a message on Beer Advocate, right, on Beer Talk, but since you're here, I'll just tell you, because the rest of the people on Beer Talk don't care. I'm planning to do Fandango Friday tomorrow evening around 7 Eastern. No? Maybe 6:30 Eastern. Yeah, let's do it early. I would like to get to bed. I'll be so tired tomorrow. So let's say about 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 my time. Fandango Friday, liqueurs. I got Yukon Jack Apple. Don't know if it's any good. Probably be all right. And then we can, of course, use that as a vehicle to talk about Memorial Day, and you know what I mean. But anyway, so it'd be Fandango Friday, Memorial Day weekend. I don't think James P. Madonna will join. I'll let him know, but he's ill. You know, he's sick. He was running late last night, and he was telling me, yeah, he's got some medical concerns. So, I mean, you know, drinking liqueurs on Friday afternoon is not really that important when you got health problems. You know, I can dig that. I can dig that. He just felt, you know, obligated last night. He had some white wine available. He had already bought it. So he said, I showed up. He said, the show must go on. So but I don't think he's going to join tomorrow night. And if you want to join, Ronnie, that's cool. But if nobody joins, I'll just do it solo. It's no big tragedy. Like I'm doing it now. Right. But he thinks that everybody's a neoconservative. Everybody is a Paul Wolfowitz. You know what I'm saying? Rumsfeld, George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan type thing. So they don't, a lot of people in the socialist left, they don't understand that there's a third option. And the third option is the paleo-conservative, anti-war faction, free enterprise faction. And so it's very confusing to them. I was reading an article on Lou Rockwell today, like people think only left wing, right wing, and when they think of right wing, they mean really a variant of the left, variant of Trotskyism, Trotskyite thinking. So that's difficult for them to think that there's a third option. When did your forefathers come to America, Jay? Says Aaron. Oh, about starting around 1777. They came from Canada, where you live, but from Nova Scotia, the east side, the Maritimes, Nova Scotia, and from France itself, and from England and Ireland and Austria and Germany. That's pretty much where they came from. Austria, Germany. So the German Confederation at that time, you know, the German Confederation, France, and the British Empire. And that's pretty much it. 3 countries. Germany, which remember, Austria was part of Germany at that time. It was a German state. So Austria, Germany, France, England. 4 countries. 3, because Austria was part of, you know, so Germany. All right. Tomorrow at 6:30 sounds good. 5:30 my time. Okay, so look for that. I should be posting. I should be, you know, throwing it out there right around that time. I used to like Rumsfeld when I was a kid. Reminded me of a nice old man. Little did I know then. Yeah. Nice guy. Real nice guy. Real nice guy. All right, so thanks for watching this video. This is a really delightful beer. And tomorrow we're going to try the 100 proof. Oh, that is so strong. Luckily, it's only that little. It's a bottle that big of Yukon Jack. Is it going to be any good? I mean, you know, it's going to be all right. 79 cents for that bottle, little plastic bottle. But I was amazed. They have a lot of people, you know, I'll say a lot. About 6 people did videos for it. And they bought the big glass bottle. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I would, I guess, if I got it for $1.99, some crazy price. But we'll see about it. Ronnie, if you find a liqueur, run on. See you tomorrow, probably. Okay, thanks. I'm going to let James know in a few minutes, so, but I don't want him to feel any kind of pressure to join. My ancestors were in India during 1777, which was under the Mughal Muslim Empire, right? The Mughals. We were not taken to the Fijian Islands until 1875, right? Fiji was a British colony until 1970. Then it was a British realm of Queen Elizabeth still until 1987, when this kind of maniac took over the country and started all this racial trouble, which they did not really have before. But he was used, when somebody starts racial trouble, it's for their advantage, so they can dominate everybody. I was talking to a lady in San Diego once, 2006. I said, "Why'd you move here from Fiji?" And she was talking about this man that took over, and she was saying he was evil. He was an evil man, and because they had literally a revolution, a military overthrow of the government, and she said it was so bad we left. He was like a crazy guy, All right, and that gang, 34 years later, that same gang runs it. In 1879, Indians were taken as indentured servants by the British Empire to the Fiji Islands. Yep, that's right. Well, I wouldn't say taken. They were offered a contract, which they took. They went to Guyana, also down in South America, and Trinidad, down in the Caribbean. And it was a deal, it was a contract, voluntary, not slavery, voluntary. If you work for 7 years, after the 7-year period ends, you can be a free person, and that's your wage. That's your shipping fee, shipping. You said, well, I don't have $10. I can't afford to travel across the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean to some island I never heard of. I don't have money to do that. Well, we'll make a deal. You work for me. That's how a lot of white people came to America from England, as indentured servants. It's only a temporary servant. You can't be sold. Or I guess your contract could be sold, but after the 7 years, you're free. Oh yes, so it's very common. You say, do I oppose that? I don't oppose it, because as a free enterprise advocate, I guess you can make whatever deal you want. Sounds fair to me. You're gonna let me sail halfway across the world, and in payment, I'll work for you for 7 years, and then I can go free of the contract, so to speak, and then I can live in this new country and give myself a new opportunity. Sounds fair to me. All right. Anyway, voluntary. Voluntary is voluntary. All right. Well, anyway, enough of that. So thanks everybody for watching, and if you want to try a great beer, even if you're pro-war and not anti-war, that's just the name of the channel, and you might not share my thinking. But even if you're pro-war and love empires, and you're not an anti-imperialist like myself, but that's cool, because you might love this ale also. Left wing, right wing, middle wing, you might love it as well. Thank you.